Very good. Thank you. Yeah.
That's wonderful. So I welcome you all to the AWS Cloud Security Masters Program. So first of all, I would like to congratulate you all that you have, made the right decision for taking the right path for your career. So, okay, so today you're going to learn about the introductory part of the AWS Solutions Architect. So you're going to learn everything what's going to be covered, and you're going to meet your trainer, of course, our engineer. So, okay, so I really want everyone to be in lively spirits. So let's begin with a quick question so that, we can break the ice here and so that I know everyone's active. All right. Okay. So right on your screen, you can see there are two resumes. So suppose you are a recruiter, okay? And let me know which one of the two resumes would you choose, the first one or the second one? If you are with the first one, you can just drop, one in the chat. And if it's the second one, you can just drop second in the chat. Or someone could, just answer me directly so that I know, yeah, that you guys are active. That would be even better.
The first one.
All right, the first one, and the reason being?
It's because he's got skills more than the other guy.
Okay, but I think the skills are similar here. If someone can observe carefully, I really want to know what everyone else thinks. So yes, come on, guys, speak up. Let's see if you're active in the morning. It's Saturday, I know.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, go ahead, please.
Yeah, the second one, because he's certified, he's got AWS certifications. Both of them are the same. Yeah, so he's certified from AWS with security architect and networking.
Right. That makes sense, right? Because you can especially see these are the certifications he has got. So obviously he has an edge over the first guy, right? That makes sense. Yeah, thank you so much for your answer. Yeah, that's wonderful. So of course, so if you really want your resume to look like that, I would say you are at the right place because we have got trainers who are actually engineers who are working in this domain, and they are engineers who are working hands-on. So they have all these certifications. So it would be wonderful to learn from them directly, right? Okay, so on that note, I'll introduce our trainer. So Meta Cloud Engineer, he has said he has been cloud engineer for over 5 years now. And if I talk about his certifications, he is a solutions architect as well. And he then also has pen test, CompTIA's pen test certification. And then we have EC Council CH version 12, which is the latest one. So that's a win-win situation. And we also have DevOps and DevSecOps. So here you will be getting a package of a trainer or an engineer who has been, handy in cloud as well as network security and then cyber security as well as DevOps. So yeah, that's wonderful. So, okay, so let's just quickly go over what's going to be covered in this session, all right? So obviously we are just going to begin with it. So first of all, you're going to know what actually is AWS cloud computing, you'll learn everything and what's the importance of it, right, in today's world. And then what's the future of AWS? Is it really the, right path to choose this career or is it not? And the third one is career guidance. And of course, you guys can, shoot your questions to the engineers, anything that you have in your mind you can speak out to him and Sid would definitely help you with it and guide you. Okay. Okay. So if you really want to become a cloud security engineer, on an average, a cloud security engineer earns almost 2 times higher than a cloud engineer. Because obviously, when it comes to security, even every organization, almost 98% of organizations, they want security in their, environment. So our AWS Cloud Security Masters program, you must be wondering what is it? actually, right? So it has actually 3 courses. So our engineers have strategically prepared a program. So that covers AWS security. Okay. And then we also have AWS Solutions Architect. So you learn everything about the cloud networks, and you also learn about the security part. And then just to take your, skills up a notch, we also have AWS Advanced Network Security. So you're also learning about the security part as well as the networking part in the cloud environments. So this program is going to be for like 6 months, but there's always also a choice here. So what you can do is you can either enroll directly for a 2 month period. So you can cover all these 3 courses at the same time if that's handy with you. But if you don't want to go with that, you can also do these courses like on a monthly basis. So you can firstly go with the AWS Solutions Architect, for the first 2 months, followed by AWS Security for the next 2 months, and then followed by AWS Advanced Network Specialty in the next 2 months. Right. So that completely depends on you, on your pace, right? And at the same time, let me tell you what exactly are we offering. So networking's our USB has always been that you get to learn directly from engineers in the industry. So rather than learning from local trainers or people who have been just training and then not have been updated with the upcoming everything that's going on in the industry. So everything is covered here with us. So you also get career roadmaps. It gets really confusing every time new job opportunities are coming up or job roles are coming up, if I may say. So just to keep up with it or what's the right path for you, we give you career roadmaps when you enroll in our courses as well. And you also get exam guidance. So if you want to, for example, you want to take the AZ-104 exam, you really want the certifications on your resume. So of course, our, curriculums are designed on the basis of the certifications so that you guys can take the exam as well at the end of the day. And then we also provide you with the, recordings of the sessions that go on. For example, supposedly you miss a class. So of course, we'll provide you with the recordings as well. Of course, the live classes go on at the same basis. So that's all about that. And of course, we are 100% online platform. And if you ever face a difficulty with anything or technically, or you can't access something, you can of course reach out to our support team. We also have that available for you. Okay, so what are your chances to land a job, in the cloud scenario? So if we currently check out in India itself, we have currently over 11,000 jobs going on. So of course, that's a great number. So if we have these screenshots here for Indeed, and then we have Naukri.com, we also have LinkedIn. So of course, we'll also help you to find out, the right job for you. We can assist you with the job thing. But of course, at the end of the day, we have a lot of options available in the industry. So you don't have to worry about that at all. Okay, so I have an interesting offer for you with a little heads up. This offer is going to end up really soon by Sunday itself. So the offer is that if you enroll for the Cloud Security Masters program, all right, you are going to avail. Sorry, is someone saying something? Okay, so let it be. So if you guys really want to save, good amount of number, if you have made up your mind that you want to go for the master's program, you see the potential in it, I have an amazing offer for you. You can save up to 15,000 off, in fact, flat 15,000 rupees off on all our master's program, be it the cloud one. We also have cybersecurity master's programs, and then we have the DevOps as well and networking as well. So I have this interesting QR code right on your screens. So you guys can either screenshot it if you are on your mobile phones right now, right? You can check it out later if you want to avail the discount, or I'll put the screen on a pause for like a good 6 to 8 seconds so that you guys can scan it from your phones as well. So yeah, once that's done, someone can tell me that, yeah, it's good to go and move on to the next screen. All right, can someone quickly confirm me? Anyone? Okay, so everyone's on mute, so I suppose I would move further now. Okay, so let's talk about our testimonials. So since 2013, we have actually transformed more than 40,000 careers. And some of the really great testimonials are right on your screen. So these guys have really switched from their average jobs and they are now earning almost up to like, 3 times more than their previous job role. So most of them were non-technical guys and then they switched into a technical role. So if you can relate to this, networking is the best platform that you can look forward to. So that's all from my side. I would really like Sid to take over now. Sid, are you here?
Yes, Akriti.
All right, Sid. Yeah, the stage is all yours now. Thank you so much. You may begin. Yeah.
Yeah, so Sid, now you can continue.
Yeah.
Yes. First of all, thank you, Akriti, and thank you, Networkings, for having me here. So I'll get started with a little bit of introduction. First of all, good morning, everyone. So I'm excited to have you here today for this seminar on AWS Solution Architect. So over the entire seminar, we are going to dive into the essential components that make the AWS like the backbone of modern cloud computing and how you can be an architect and leverage it designs and scalable, secure, and efficient solutions. So with that said, we'll move forward with our slides. First of all, you almost got an introduction, but I'll give it again. So my name is Sid, and I am a DevSecOps engineer with over 5 years of experience into the fields of DevSecOps, AWS cloud security, application security, and security operation centers. So these are my major skills, and I have worked with many uh, service-based companies and product-based companies, and I help them to find the vulnerabilities, fix their AWS-related uh, issues, and create a secure infrastructure on AWS. So I started my journey in 2019 as a cybersecurity engineer. Then later on, I started learning about the cloud environment as well. So I was going through Azure, GCP, and AWS. And AWS was the one which I found was a bit best fit for me as well. And as AWS is the highest used cloud service out there. So, so in today's session, what we'll be discussing is what is AWS Solution Architect, how you can be an AWS Solution Architect, how it will help you to increase your scope in your job roles, how you can start preparing for the AWS Solution Architect, And in the end, we'll have a little demo on how to set up some of the EC2 features, and we'll have a demo website also, which we can publish or we can host on the AWS. So moving forward, so what to expect in the exam. So AWS Solution Architect is basically it's not an role where you will do most of the technical things only, but AWS Solution Architect is more like you have to design the architecture so that it more creates the robust applications, or we deploy the applications securely, and we design the complex architecture so that it is highly secure, cost efficient, and uh, the designing and the scalability is up to the mark. So as we move forward with the AWS, so AWS has transformed the way of organizations into like designing, then building and deploying applications. And it's not just about moving servers to the cloud, but it's about using a rich set of tools so that the architect and the scalability and cost efficiency is maintained. uh, then who should enroll for this course? So anyone who is into the IT background or a non-IT background can start enrolling themselves for the uh, AWS Solution Architect. The only difference between a AWS cloud practitioner and the solution architect is the cloud practitioner is more into the configuring the infrastructure like EC2 instance, S3 buckets, IAM roles, and policies. But the solution architects is a combination of cloud practitioner and the designing of the uh, architect on the AWS. So if you are a aspiring cloud architect, then you can enroll for this course. If you are a system admin or an IT professional, you can enroll for this course. If you're a developer and any engineer and you want to move or you want to increase your skills into AWS, so for that you can enroll for in this course. Then if you're into DevOps, so in DevOps it is highly recommended that one of the cloud services you should be using. Then if you're a solution architect and consultants, you can enroll for this role. If you are into networking, no matter whether it is network security or network admin and anything, you can still be in cloud security. So, and if you're into data administrators, so you can enroll for this course. So, this course is basically uh, AWS Solution Architect was introduced in 2002, and it was initially introduced internally by AWS. So when they launched it, they found few of the features was useful. So in 2003, they uh, they released this as for the outside market as well. And in 2004, they launched their first service, which was SQS. Uh, and in 2006, the time from it really started. So they relaunched it with the public available facilities like EC2 or S3 bucket and SQS and rest of the things. After that, initially they were only in America, but later on they moved. They thought, why just America? Will go around the world as well. So the second data center was in Europe, and after that, like Netflix, Dropbox, or Airbnb, NASA, and like Amazon itself. So now most of the companies are into AWS, and in the recent survey from 2024, so AWS was able to generate more than $110 billion of revenue. So you see that there is a scope in this particular domain, and everyone nowadays are moving from on-premises to their cloud services because it is much more manageable. We can scale our resources, and we only have to pay for those things which we are actually using and not for the things which we are not using. Any questions till now?
No questions.
No. No.
Yeah.
So with little bit of introduction, like what is AWS Solution Architect is just not a role. It's about understanding the cloud services and it's problem solving, designing scalable, secure, and cost efficient architectures that can meet the unique need of businesses. As an AWS Solution Architect, your primary responsibility is to translate business requirements into reliable technical solutions that are built on AWS extensive set of services. So there are two things which we'll be discussing. One is why this architecture matters in the cloud, and another is understanding the role of an AWS solution architect. So we'll move with the first one. So the importance of cloud architecture is basically, so in the cloud, architecture is the key to ensuring applications are secure, they are performant, and they're adaptable. Which means whenever any architecture or any infrastructure is created over AWS, so that has to be secured. The performance should be optimized and it should be adaptive. There is a saying that if you will move more towards security, you will lose the performance and the capabilities of that application. But in the AWS, we can manage all these things because everything is in our control and we can do on-demand things rather than going on a dedicated server. So as a solution architect, we focus on designing systems that are like aligned with the business needs while being optimized for performance, security, and cost efficiency. If I'll talk about some AWS well architect framework, like operational excellence or security or reliability, then performance efficiency, cost optimization. So in operational excellence, we majorly focus on and we ensure that systems are managed and monitored effectively to achieve the operational goals. Like how as a solution architect you can do is like an AWS solution architect should design systems that are easy to manage and automate operational tasks and like implement some monitoring and logging so that you have the complete eye on everything what's going around on your infrastructure, and rather than going checking those things manually, you can set some alerts, and then if anything happens, so you'll be getting a notification. Then there is security. So like the major focus should be on protecting the data, protecting the system, protecting the assets, while ensuring that we also meet with compliance and the security requirements. So as a solution architect, how you can focus on security is you can prioritize the implementing of security controls such as like AWS Guard Duty is there, AWS Cloud Watch is there, and you can implement other SIM solution as well. So you can also include these encryption, you can control the access management, you can do a regular security assessment, so you can perform audits on your cloud environments. And the major thing architect should be doing is build system that protect data and application from the vulnerabilities or the threats which is out in the public. Then moving forward with like reliability. So we as a solution architect has to focus to ensure that a system can, recover quickly from failures or any cybersecurity breaches or any system is down. So instead of spinning and creating those systems again or infras again, we just have a backup and we can spin it up and we are good to go with everything, and everything remains the same. So how a solution architect can think about this is like he can design a fault tolerance and high availability with creating a backup and recovery plans, and you can do multiple testing disaster recovery procedures also, so that you maintain the system reliability and everything. Whenever it is impacted, you can still control your resources and your data. Then moving forward with performance efficiency. So in performance efficiency, it's majorly focusing on optimizing the performance of applications, optimizing the performance of infrastructure, and they might vary when the demands are low or demands are high, but you should be ready with the performance efficiency. And how a solution architect can do it, like he can involve selecting like appropriate resources or monitoring performance and implementing some scaling systems efficiently. uh, and architects should also ensure that the system can handle load effectively and efficiently. Like, we can implement some load balancers so that if the traffic is way too much than expected, so the load can be distributed into two different resources, and the website or the service which we are running, it won't be impacted because of the high volume of traffic coming inside. We You as a solution architect, your role and responsibility would be to design your application or the service to maintain all these things. Then the most important thing which every organization expects from you as a solution architect is the cost optimization, because there are plenty of services which you will be running on AWS, and you will be charged, the company will be charged on the hourly basis. So your major focus will be on you have to help on managing and reducing the cost that is associated with the running cloud systems. So you you will be doing you will be implementing the cost effective resources. You will monitor your spending. You will optimize resource allocation to ensure that the system remains within the budget while meeting performance and capacity needs. So by aligning with these pillars, an architect can build solid cloud architectures that not only meet the business requirements but also adapt to evolving needs and challenges. So this is what the architecture matters in the cloud. Any doubt on this topic? Any questions? Or we can move ahead. I'll take it as a no. So on the second topic, that is understanding the role of an AWS solution architect. So as I told you, the role of an AWS solution architect involves in understanding a company's needs and translating that into a cloud solution. Uh, so if you will go back 5 to 6 years back, the companies were still using the on-premises infrastructure, They has to maintain their own data centers, and there was a lot of uh, things going around with this like security breaches, and they have to maintain everything. But as cloud was growing, so the company started moving into the cloud environments, and now there are companies who are mostly into the hybrid situations or into the complete cloud environments. So this might involve like choosing the right compute services like EC2 or Lambda, or like we can select the appropriate storage solution like S3 or EFS, or we can also ensure that these services are secure, and they meet the security guidelines, security best practices. We can use IAM for these access or permission related things. So the common things, common use cases, and some uh, my personal industry trends was like web applications, which we use on the AWS. Then there are data analytics, AI and machine learning. Then there are IoT solutions. Then there are enterprise migrations are going on, and lastly, serverless architectures. So these are the few common things and few use cases which we'll be discussing. Like if I talk about web application, so AWS offers a comprehensive suite of tools for building, like building, deploying, and scaling the web applications. So the key services for this web applications will be Amazon EC2, Amazon S3, Amazon RDS. So in Amazon EC2, we will discuss these topics in the later seminar. But Amazon EC2, it provides a scalable compute capacity in the cloud, so that you can run web servers or application servers on it. Then if we talk about S3, so S3 offers scalable and reliable object storage for like static website content, media files, and backups. And these things I'm particularly talking about web applications, but they offer more features as well in the EC2, S3, or RDS. So in RDS, that manage the relational database for web applications with like automatic backups are there, scaling is there, the patching is available. So these things are done. Similarly, if we talk about data analytics, and if you are into data analytics or if you are into AI ML, still you can go for the AWS Solution Architect role. You will be working majorly on the Redshift, Amazon Redshift. Then you will be working on Amazon SageMaker. Then there is one more application, there is one more service which is AWS Glue, and other third-party applications can also be integrated. Like AWS provides some powerful tools also for analyzing the data and building machine learning models, which I just shared with you. So these tools are available on AWS, so you can uh, start the AI and machine learning and data analytics also on the AWS. Then there are IoT solutions. So AWS also supports the IoT solution with some scalable infrastructure and integrated services, such as there is AWS IoT Core. Like this connects internet enabled devices to the AWS cloud and securely interacts with them. So instead of creating any on-premises IoT device, you can have it on your dedicated cloud environment. There is AWS IoT Greengrass as well, and there was AWS IoT Analytics as well. So these are some powerful tools or services provided by AWS for IoT solutions. Then if you talk about enterprise migration, so when you're moving from on-premises to AWS, so there is a lot of tedious tasks we have to do, like we have to move all the files from on-premises to cloud. We have to set up the exact environment we have in our
Okay.
on-premises to
Hello.
AWS.
Hello, Sid.
Yeah, tell me.
Are you sharing any other screen or this is the only one?
This is the only one.
Okay.
Yeah. So you have to set up the exact environment on your AWS environments as well. So AWS also helps you to migrate your on-premises infrastructure from on-premises to the AWS. So it will assist you uh, in migrating your all data and your all workload or any kind of configuration which you have on-premises to the cloud. So for that, you can use few of the services, which is like AWS Migration Hub, AWS Server Migration Service, AWS Database Migration Service, and so on. And similarly, the last one was the serverless architecture. So in serverless architecture, what you can expect is you can compute and allow developers to build and run application without managing the servers, so that they don't have to manage or interact with the servers. The key services or the key points for the serverless architectures are like AWS Lambda is there, Amazon API Gateway is there, then there is Amazon DynamoDB. So these are some powerful features or services provided by AWS, which you can work and you can create a serverless architecture as well. So that was the role of an AWS solution architect. I think I was clear and was not bouncing. So moving ahead, we have few topics which we will be discussing today about AWS, and they are some basic topics only. So like I'll be going through an introduction of AWS Core Services. I'll tell you about what is Amazon EC2, Amazon S3, Amazon RDS, sorry, Amazon VPC, Amazon IAM, and why these core services matters actually. So if we talk about the introduction to the AWS core services, to get started, I'll go with few of the core services that form the foundation of AWS cloud solutions. And we'll understand these fundamental services in a crucial manner so that for anyone who is working with AWS, they provide the building blocks for creating and managing the cloud applications. So these are the core services which we will be discussing today. So starting with Amazon EC2. So in Amazon EC2 is the most,
Sir,
yeah, you were saying something?
Hi, Sid, I have a question.
Yeah.
Besides the role of solution architect, like you just mentioned, would it be possible for us to, if we'd like to set up a website and launch it on AWS and maintain it for business or personal purposes, can we do that?
Yeah, definitely you can do that. So Amazon does provide these features where you can host your website on your own as well. And like it doesn't matter whether you are doing it for your organization or for your personal purpose or for your businesses. AWS provides multiple services, and you can host anything, and you can literally just do anything you can think of on AWS services.
No, but yeah, they're providing the services. That's another thing. But with the help of this course, can we be able to do all of that, or do we need to have additional skills besides this?
So this course will majorly tell you about how you can use this AWS services, how you can create your server, how you can launch an EC2 instance, how you can create an S3 bucket, use those things. But you have to create an architecture, like how you will be creating that website, how you will be storing those websites, and how that website can use the AWS components. So let's suppose if you're working with an e-commerce website and you want to create an e-commerce website. So you can definitely use any of the services, but this course is not dedicatedly for how you can host a website on AWS, but this is more about how you can use these AWS features for any kind of work, whether it is in deploying a website, it is deploying any services, deploying any SOC solution, deploying any kind of tools or integration which you have to do with your organization. So for that, you will be understanding and you will be getting an hands-on experience on each and every services, how you can integrate with your need. But yeah, you can definitely host a website, but this course will be majorly focusing on how to use these services and rather than just deploying a website.
Thank you very much, Sid.
Any other questions? So moving ahead with Amazon EC2. So Amazon EC2 is a scalable compute service that allows you to launch and manage virtual servers, which is also known as instances in AWS environments. So the key features of an Amazon EC2 is scalability. Then there are variety of instance types. You can just go with numerous instance types and you can choose accordingly. And if you even want to increase or decrease, that functionality is also available while the infra is on the same architecture. And then there is elastic load balancing. So overall, you can scale your compute capacity up or down, or like whenever the requirement is more, you can increase the scalability. If the requirement is not meeting the mark, so you can decrease so that you can reduce the cost. So and then the variety of these instances will offer you to optimize your EC2 instance and instances, and to differentiate your workloads for the various instances you will be creating. Then there will be elastic load balancing, which is like automatically distributing the incoming traffic, or whenever there is a high demand or high traffic incoming. So you can use the elastic load balancing so that it will separate those traffics into different resources, different instances, so that the application is functionally it is working fine. And the downtime or the lag, which we say, so that reduces and it increases the performance of an application. So these are some things which you can do with EC2. But there are much more things which EC2 provides, and those things we'll be discussing in that AWS Solution Architect course, but right now I'm just giving an overview what exactly you can do. Then there is Amazon S3. So then Amazon S3, it is a highly durable and available object storage service, which is designed to store and retrieve like any amount of data from anywhere in the web. So when you create any S3 bucket, and if you like, there are two kinds of permissions, like public and private. If your S3 bucket is public, you can access it from anywhere in the world, and you can upload any data, you can download any data, you can uh, do the log monitor storage. You can use it as a log storage. You can use it as a backup device. You can store your media files, your documents. But if it is a private S3 bucket, then it will be configured in such way that only your organization private network can access it, and not the outside world can access it. So there are some key features like scalability again, and then durability is there, access control is there, just as I said. So in scalability, like you can store as much as data as you need, and you only pay for what you use, uh, not just like you have to buy 100 GB storage and you're using only 10 GB, that 90 GB is just a wastage for you. So you have to pay for the amount which you will be storing. Then there is like durability. So AWS claims that the S3 provides the 99.99% of durability by automatically replicating data across the multiple facilities. So when the S3 bucket is used, so it uh, the downtime or the breakage of the S3 data is very less compared to the other storage options. So this is how you can trust on the S3 buckets. And this S3 buckets are majorly used across the organization. So most of the data uh, are stored in S3 buckets. Then to access, the best feature of AWS is you can control the access of each and every service. It's not like you are just randomly giving permissions and everyone can use everything. But you can, instead of doing that, you can control those permissions and access, so that any particular user, let's suppose if someone is from developer team and someone is from uh, IT team or operation teams. Now, developer team stores some code and they don't want other teams to see it. So, but the AWS infrastructure is accessible by everyone. So they can restrict their access. They can create some IAM policies and they can assign it to that user. So that only that particular users can only use that S3 bucket or other services as well in the AWS. Then there is Amazon RDS, that is relational database service. So Amazon RDS is like it's a simplified setup which operates, it scales, and it is reliable for the relational databases in the cloud. So this is basically the database provided by the AWS, and it offers multiple database engines like MySQL is there, there is PostgreSQL, there is SQL Server, and so on. So these servers, they have features enabled like automatic uh, backups are enabled, so you can just switch it on and off, and the automatic backup will start working. And the database snapshots are created so that you ensure the data is always there and it is durable. Then again, scaling is there, so you can scale as per your need and you pay what you use. Then multiple availability zones deployments can be done. So AWS RDS is not related to a single availability zone. So use the same RDS instance for the different availability zones as well. Then Amazon VPC, that is Virtual Private Cloud. So Amazon VPC allows you to create a logically isolated network within the AWS cloud, giving you a control over your virtual networking environment. And few key features of Amazon VPC will be like subnets will be there, security groups will be there, internet gateway will be there, and I hope like subnet, security groups, and internet gateway is something which we use as a professionals on daily basis. But in the AWS, they are termed like this, like subnets. They are the segments of your VPC that into the public and private to control the traffic flow. Security groups are basically just a firewall, so you can control your inbound and outbound traffic for your EC2 instances. Then internet gateway is like you enable the communication between instances in your VPC and the internet. So this is Amazon VPC. Then Amazon IAM is there, which is identity and access management. This is the most important thing in this Amazon security. So you will when you will enroll yourself for Amazon AWS security, you will use Amazon IAM the most. So Amazon IAM enables like you to manage the access to the AWS services and resources securely. But you can also create and manage AWS users and groups and use permissions to allow or deny the accesses for the entire AWS features which AWS is providing. So some common key features are like granular permissions are there, their multi-factor authentication is there, the role-based access is there. So these are some common features. Then,
I said,
yeah.
Quick one. If how like how does Azure, Microsoft, what you call AD, integrate with AWS?
How? Sorry, I didn't got your question. How does?
How do you let's say you've got Microsoft Active Directory and you enroll your users through Azure identity, but you want to grant permissions to your AWS instances. How does your IAM and Azure integrate? Does it integrate or how does it work?
No,
that's a very good question.
So these are some two different cloud platforms, and this Amazon IAM is only for AWS, and these integrations cannot be done with the multiple cloud environments. This AWS IAM is a resource or a service which is dedicatedly used for the AWS environments only. You cannot create an Amazon IAM policy and you can use it on the Azure services.
No. My question is, let's say you've got the Microsoft, what you call environment, and you've got your AWS, but you load your users on AD, and then on identity you assign rights, you assign permissions, you give user roles, but you want your user roles to be reflective to AWS. So when you onboard somebody on Microsoft, do you have to do it twice? So you'll onboard a person. I've got a system engineer. I only want the system engineer to have only certain rights. So do I go to Microsoft, then leave Microsoft, then go to AWS and do the same thing?
Yeah, so in AWS, I am also like whenever you initially create an AWS account, so that you'll receive a root account. But later on, you'll be creating the users and some roles. So users are basically the individuals, or we can say the employees of an organization, or the services, individual services that we have to create. These users are now grouped into a policy or a role. Let's suppose there are three users in developer team. There are three users in operations teams. So these developer teams and operations teams are the grouping, and these users are inside these groups. Now, what happens is you create a policy for these groups. These groups, as in the developer group, will have a different permissions. The operations group will have a different permissions. So whenever you have a new onboarding, so you have to create a user, and then you have to assign them some group, and that group has a IAM policy or the access permissions or the management.
Okay.
I cleared your answer.
No, I understand what you're saying. I understand in terms of your identity and access management within AWS.
Mm-hmm.
My question is based on Microsoft. So you get into an organization, they're using Microsoft Office, they've got 365 tenant, they've got a Microsoft identity, and then they say, we've got we've recruited new employees. We've got a software developer, systems engineer. Yeah, let me just give those two. And under that, on your AD, under the groups, you've given them rights. Do you have to do it in Microsoft and also go and do it in AWS?
Yes, you have to do the exactly same thing which you're doing in Microsoft. You have to do the exactly same thing in the Amazon as well.
Okay, no, that's fine. Thanks.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Rasid,
Yeah.
is this course covered solution architect associate or professional?
This is associate one.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So moving ahead with like why these core services matter. So there are like two things: foundation of the cloud architects, and another is flexibility and scalability. So in foundation of cloud architects, these services provides the essential capabilities for building and like managing the applications in the cloud, but in the form of like computing power and storage to the database management and the network control. You need to create a foundation of your complete infrastructure where you will design the complex architectures so that the managing of those resources and like building of those resources are meeting the requirements which your company is asking for. And another thing is flexibility and scalability. So, like uh, Amazon offers the flexibility to scale your applications like up or down as per your demand or as per your need. Like which is the highly best feature of moving into the cloud computing. So you if the traffic is more, you can instantly increase the scalability, the features of the applications, and if the traffic coming is down, so you can reduce it. So this manages your cost efficiency, and this will decrease the cost to the company. So, like with this, like understanding these core services is the first step in mastering like AWS, and we'll move forward with our next topic, which is like what is the future of AWS Solution Architect. So, the future of AWS Solution Architect is like it is very promising and evolving rapidly as technology and the cloud computing continue to advance. Now, like here, some are the key trends and developments that are likely to shape the role and responsibilities of AWS Solution Architect in the coming years. So will be there. There are some few uh, things which we'll be discussing. One is like increased focus on AI and machine learning. Then expansion of serverless architecture is there. Importance of security and compliance. Hybrid and multi-cloud environments. Increased automation and DevOps integration can be done. Advanced data management and analytics can be done. Green cloud and sustainability initiatives can be done. Enhanced focus on user experience and business outcomes. Continuous skill development can be done.
Hello, sir. What is a green cloud?
Sorry?
What is this green cloud?
So green cloud is basically as we are moving into so like uh, as the environmental concerns grows, so the architects will be tasked with the designed energy efficient and the sustainable cloud solution, leveraging like AWS own sustainability and initiative and tools. So these are some practices which moves to the like environmental concerns issues, because if the companies will have their own uh, so as the company will move more to the like if they will have their own data centers, so there will be more carbon emission will be happening and more pollution will be happening. So instead of that, managing these things in a single place, this reduces the environmental causes. For that, this green cloud and the sustainability initiatives are taken. So let's start with this increased focus on the AI and machine learning. So we can integrate the AI and ML machine learning services, which is like AWS is like continually expanding its artificial intelligence and machine learning offerings, such as SageMaker and AWS Solution Architects, with increasingly need to integrate these services into solution to leverage the data-driven insights and the automations. So, and as well as they're building their intelligent applications, like architects will focus on designing systems that uh, aligns with the artificial intelligence and machine learning to increase the user experience, optimize the operations, and provide the uh, upcoming uh, analytics or upcoming events. So these are some major focused things on the artificial intelligence and the machine learning. Then serverless architectures, so like serverless computing with the AWS Lambda will be happening, and other managed services will continue to grow. Then architects will need to design the application like that fully utilize the serverless uh, diagrams or the infra just for the cost efficiency and scalability, and it will reduce the operational overhead. Then there is event driven architectures also, which gives the priority on building an event driven architecture that responds to the real time data events, and it will increase or decrease accordingly. Then the major thing, which is the importance of the security and compliance. So the importance of the security and compliance, like as the cybersecurity threats evolve, the AWS solution architects will need to focus more on integrating the security features and the compliance tools to protect their data, their infra, or their applications, and also implementing some automated compliance checks like security guard duty, cloud watch is there, and like security best practices can be done. We can train our engineers to for the best security practices. They can follow those guidelines. The integrations can be done. The set of rules can be decided, so any leakage can be managed. Then hybrid and multi-cloud environments. So with many organization adopting hybrid cloud strategies like Azure, GCP, AWS, so the architects will need to design solution that seamlessly integrate on-premises infrastructure as well with the cloud AWS cloud services as well. And the architects will also need to manage the and optimize the environments across multiple cloud providers, not only the AWS but the GCPs as well and the Azure as well, and ensure the capability and the cost effectiveness as well. And now, as there is a huge increase in the DevOps and automations, so there is infrastructure as code can be done, continuous integration and continuous deployment can be done. So in the IAC, the automation through IAC tools like such as AWS Cloud Formation or Terraform, these tools will become even more integral, and they will be easy to manage the infrastructure efficiently, and they will reproduce the instance on demand. Similarly, the CI/CD integration can be done. The DevOps practices will be increasingly the DevOps practices will increase with the time, and the architect designs the pipeline that supports the rapid and the reliable software delivery. Then there is advanced data management and analytics. So like it is big data solutions, real-time analytics. So like AWS services for big data and analytics, such as like Redshift is there and AWS Glue is there. So these services will also continue to evolve, and the uh, requirement of an architect will be to design these in a scalable and efficient data solutions, but the demand for the real-time data processing and the analytics will drive uh, the architects to improve the services like Amazon Elasticsearch is there. So you can set up the Amazon Elasticsearch, then you can gather all the logs and all the informations on the complete AWS environments. So these kind of things you can do with the data management and the analytics. Then green cloud and sustainability, as I just explained. Moving forward with the enhanced focused on user experience and business outcomes. So this is where a solution architect differs from a cloud practitioner. So this particular course majorly focus on like architects will need to focus on designing solution that not only meet the technical requirements, but as well as they also deliver the exceptional, user experience and align with the business compliance as well. Because if you will create a very complex architecture, so it will reduce the user experience and functionality. So you have to design it in a such way that you uh, meet the technical requirements, you meet the user experience, and you also meet the business requirements. So all three things will be driven and taken care by you. Then there is continued skill development. So as AWS is, continuously releasing their new services and features, the solution architect will need to stay updated through ongoing learning and certifications. There are some soft skills and leaderships also. Like in addition, if we talk about technical skills can be improved, leadership skills can be improved, communications skills can be improved, or you can improve your strategic thinking skills as well. So as an architect, you have to work on not only the technical part of these AWS infrastructure, but you have to uh, improve your skills as a leadership, communication, or think out of the box what can be the possible scenario and what might be occurring in the near future. So these were some topics which focus on the future of the AWS Solution Architect. Then there is career guidance for the AWS Solution Architect, or so career guidance as in there are some key points which I even used when I was giving my AWS exam and when I was moving from cybersecurity to AWS cloud security as well. So few things which I focused was on like building a strong foundation. You have to build a solid understanding at least on the AWS core services, which includes like EC2, S3, RDS, VPC, IAM, Lambda. So these are some very familiar services and they're highly used services in the AWS environment. So you have to be very much more focused on these so that your foundation of AWS is very strong. Then you can get your certifications like AWS Solution Architect or professional level, move like first associate and then professional level, so that you have the both uh, architecture knowledge as well as the computing knowledge. Then you can gain the practical experience. So there are multiple projects out there, and you can work on real world projects, whether like you can get it some personal projects or you can work on some internships. You can start your job experience. Then majorly when you will be starting your career, so you will be building and managing the AWS environments, but it will increase your understanding of how AWS environments work. If you are in your learning phase and you don't want to spend money on the AWS, so AWS also offers a free tier. This is like few features which are eligible and they are not charged for a particular time frame. Like if you use EC2 instances, so they are 750 hours per month, they are free. So these kind of things, and then you develop a key skill. So instead of going completely into AWS, because AWS is just like an ocean, you can master your skills in one of the domain. Like for example, you master your skills in the cloud architecture, or you can master your skills in the automation tools like cloud formations or Terraform, or you can master your skills in the DevOps practices which AWS offers. But side by side, you have to improve your soft skills as well. Like soft skills as in communications, you have to increase your problem solving, project management, So you then if you work on your technical skills and your soft skills, so you are handling two situations side by side, which is a technical thing and a non-technical thing. So you can align with these two people in your organizations and you can work along with them. Fifth one is specialize and diversify. So you consider specialization in areas like security. You can focus, or you can focus on machine learning, you can focus on data analytics, but you have to be specialized in one of the area, which when you'll be going through this course you can understand about yourself that I'm much more comfortable when I'm working on security. Let's suppose I'm much more comfortable when I'm working on data analytics. I'm much more comfortable when I'm configuring the AWS environments. So you can primarily select a skill and you can specialize into that skill, but explore other related areas also, like areas in networking, areas in database. Any programming can be integrated with the cloud expertise, and you can open up for the additional opportunities also. Just don't bound yourself with a single skill set. Then there is like you can pursue for the advanced certifications and educations as well. So once you start your AWS journey, you should start with the AWS Solution Architect. You should uh, give your entire journey to learn the AWS architectures, AWS fundamentals, AWS core services. And once you are prepared for it and you are comfortable with it, and you know that now the first stage is clear, and you want to increase your skills and you want to grab more information and you want to uh, increase your scope of skills, so you can move into like other certifications as well, like solution architect professional, or AWS certified security. You can work on certified machine learning. So there are multiple certifications from AWS you can focus on. Then pursue the career opportunities. So if you will look, and as Akriti also shared in the initial introduction, so there are multiple job openings for cloud architect, for DevOps engineer, for cloud consultant, for cloud engineer, for DevOps, DevSecOps, anything. So anything which is on cloud, there is a each role can offer you a different perspective and opportunities with cloud computing. You can set your goals, you can define your career goals, plan your career path accordingly, and this might include targeting some specific companies also. Like suppose if some company is using GCP and Azure, although these platforms are similar, but the naming conventions might be different, but they use almost same functionalities. But the if you will choose between a company which is using AWS and which is completely into Azure, so if you're giving your exam for AWS, then give your first priority to the company which is using the AWS, because you have learned about it, you have devoted your time towards the AWS environment. So that will be much more helpful for you. Any questions?
Hi,
That's it.
Sid, I have a question.
Yeah.
Do you have any references to any books that we can study, or
Yes.
is your, I mean, the program sufficient, or does it cover it?
See, the program covers everything, but I have uh, books also and some references also, which will be when we'll be in the course uh, era. So we'll be continuing those things with the references also, with some we'll be going through some white papers also, some forums discussion as well, some real life scenarios as well, and some books, blogs, and everything. So it will be a combined course rather than just what is the exam guide says. We'll not just follow those things, but we'll follow the other things as well.
Okay.
And also, I have one more question. Also, you said about real world projects. Would you be able to assist in finding it like real time projects or something?
Yes, like I can guide you how you can approach your clients for that real world projects, and there are many platforms as well which offers freelancings also. But if you want to work on like these projects, first you have to create a portfolio of your skills so that you can represent it in front of your client, so that they can trust their environment or their work, and they will give you that opportunity. So yeah, definitely I'll be helping you with these things as well.
But can we not uh, do real world ourselves by setting up these instances from home with the internet services that we have? Can we not do it from home, like practice real world projects?
Yes, you will be doing multiple real world scenarios. We'll be going through multiple projects step by step. So let's suppose in one of our session we discussed about EC2 and S3 buckets and IAM. So we'll go with a project. I have multiple projects as a topic wise. So we can combine those projects topics, and we can create a project to get an hands-on experience how you'll be implementing these things, how these things work actually in the back end, and uh, by these projects or the hands-on experience, you will get more comfortable while setting up these environments. So definitely we'll be going with the practical implementation as well, and not just into the theory. But for the examination, the theory is also required, but you still have to get your hands-on experience, and that we will be covering in the entire course.
Thank you.
Hey, Sid, I would just like to ask a quick question.
Yeah.
Could you please help me with the roles which taken care of by the different roles like solution architect associate and solution architect professional, and what is the difference in between the DevOps role as well?
So
Because more
yeah.
or mm, because because all these roles are taking care of the applications which are hosted on AWS environments, right? So
Yes.
what are the differences on the role side?
So if we talk about AWS Solution Architect Associate level, so your major role will be to create uh, infrastructure which is like highly scalable. You will design the structure, the workflow, the exact requirement which is required, and you will also meet the customer need as well as the your company needs. But if you will move ahead with the professional, so in the professional you will develop your cloud architect skills, which like solution architect does. That is obviously there. But in the professional, you will also increase knowledge about the computing and reliability, your computer services, your elastic block storage, your elastic file system. So you will be working more on the uh, designing plus implementing, rather than just if we talk about the cloud practitioner, so his role is to initially configure the AWS environment, EC2 instance, S3 buckets and everything. Then the cloud solution architect associate design it in a such a way that it is like compliance with the company needs and the client requirements. But in the real cloud scenarios, so when a cloud professional has to come into the picture, so they have to work on different aspects like you have to ace your cloud environments. You have to majorly focus on the security part. You have to majorly focus on the computing part, uh, the reliability, the scalability, and other few topics as well. So this is how you can differ it. And the DevOps, AWS DevOps is like continuous integration and continuous deployment. So you as a AWS DevOps, you majorly focus on the delivery and integration. So whatever the applications are into the integration stage or into the delivery stage, you focus that the automation, proper automation is there, then proper deployment is there, proper testing is there, the staging environment is there, non-production environment is there, then this. So there are stages like there are planning stage, then there is development stage, then there is building stage, then there is testing stage. After that, the testing, the deployment happens, and then the audits happen. So this AWS DevOps will focus majorly on these stages.
But this professional solution architect role also takes care of the delivery and the stages as well, right? Because when we are designing some infrastructure and when we are designing the application delivery, all these things are covered or not, because security aspect. And as I saw the DevOps role as well, that also takes care of security and the networking and the storage and other aspects as well. So what is the difference?
Yeah, so differences in the AWS solution architect professional, you will be working majorly on the AWS components only, like AWS CLI, AWS APIs, cloud formations, billing management, AWS management, scripting languages, and everything. But AWS DevOps is something which application is created, application is developed, application is built, and then this application is hosted on the AWS. So DevOps and AWS solution architects, they combinedly work together, and they do an end delivery to the customer, that everything is developed, everything is secured, and everything is automated. This is taken care by the DevOps engineers, and the infrastructure is created for this particular service, that is taken care by the solution architects.
Okay, so this role is majorly focusing on the AWS infrastructure, and the DevOps role also includes the application side
Yes,
things, right?
yes,
Okay,
yes.
thank you.
That's it.
Hi.
So can you go from solution architect to specialty, or you have to go solution associate, professional, specialty?
The path which AWS is defined as cloud practitioner, then solution architect associate, then professional, and then the specialist.
Okay. So
Uh,
that's yeah.
but the thing is, if you have like experience in the AWS environments, then you can skip the cloud practitioner. You can directly move into the solution architect associates. But the path says you have to follow these things. Then only you can be a cloud specialist. So if you are talking about the certification way, so this is what the path is defined by the AWS, and this is something which is used by the organizations also. So when you will be in your 10 years or 15 years of experience, they will expect you to have a certificate of solution architect as well, uh, and higher certificate which can be professional or which can be specialist. And
Okay.
that's
So this course is for is for associate, yeah?
yeah, associates.
So we'll be able to write what you call associate, foundation associate. That's it.
Yes.
Okay.
But along the path, you said cloud practitioner comes first, but I haven't got the cloud practitioner experience. Would it be fine, Sid, to continue with this course, or?
Yes, because the plus point of solution architect is it also covers the concepts which are in the cloud practitioners
Okay.
and we'll be going into from the scratch, like how to set up the environments and how to configure the environments, which is taken in care in the cloud practitioner. Once we complete those topics and you will be familiar with those topics, then we will be moving forward with the design and the complexity of these environments.
So in short, associate course includes cloud practitioners course.
Not exactly, but you will be having an understanding what happens in the cloud practitioners also.
Okay, fine. So even if I don't have cloud practitioner experience
Yes.
or information knowledge, it still be fine to continue with this course.
Yes.
Hello, Sid.
Hello.
Is it similar to Azure 104 administrator course?
Azure, I'm not aware. I think that is a different uh, certificate, but I'm not aware about Azure. Sir. Any more questions? Or we can move ahead.
Okay. So yeah, maybe I missed something. So each session is what, 2 hours, 4 hours?
Sorry?
And what is the course duration?
Yeah, course duration, like each course duration is 2 months or 1 month.
So each course will be 2 months. You can get the brochure from the networking. So they have 2 months courses divided into 3 sections. And like each section takes around 2 months, which like this solution architect will be going for around 2 months.
Okay.
And in this 2 months, you'll be getting the complete basic understanding plus hands-on experience and how you can prepare for the exam and how you can start your career as a AWS solution architect.
Okay, 2 months. All right. No, that's fine.
Any other questions?
Oh, we can move on.
Okay. So with moving ahead, we'll be discussing about how you can prepare for the exam. So there are few objectives like understanding the exam requirements, choosing the right certification, study the exam content, get hands-on experience, do some practice exams, join the study groups and forums, and you can develop an exam strategy. So if we go with the understanding the exam requirements, so we can review the exam guide. So each AWS certification has an official exam guide that outlines the topics which are covered and the format of the exam. So we will be ensuring that you understand the areas you need to focus on, and you know the exact format, and you familiarize yourself with the type of questions. So the AWS Solution Architect contains multiple choice questions and scenario based questions. And that exam consists like it contains a time. In that time, you have to complete your exam. So we'll be understanding the exam requirements in this entire course. Then we'll be choosing the certificate. Like as I told, the associate is the if you're new to AWS, it is best if you start with the AWS Solution Architect, and then you can progress to move to the professional or the specialty certifications once you're comfortable with the basics, and you can go for the advanced certifications. Then study the exam content. So like AWS training and certification offers the official training courses as well that aligns with each certifications. We can consider enrolling in these courses for structured learning as well. Then AWS white papers and documentations are there. So we'll be going through the AWS white papers. Some FAQs will be there, some service documents to increase our understanding on the exam topics. Then there are study guides and books are available. So using these study guides and books specifically tailored to the certification exam. Many resources are provided, detailed explanations are there, and practice questions are there. We'll be also getting the hands-on experience. We'll gain the practical experience by using the AWS services in the AWS Management Console. We will try to implement the services and features which we'll be studying. We will also build some projects, like create some small projects or labs that involve deploying and managing AWS resources. So this will help you apply your theoretical knowledge to the real world scenarios as well. And we'll use some practice exams, like official practice exams are there. So AWS also offers practice exams that mimic or looks like the actual test environments. So these are the great way to assess or test yourself and get familiar with the questions format and the time management. And there are some third party practice tests as well, which you can enroll. There are several online platforms that offers the practice exams, and quizzes are there. They can provide you some additional practices and expose you to different questions and styles. Then we can join the study programs, the study groups, and the forums as well. So online communities, people out there are participating on the online forum study groups or the social media communities related to AWS certifications, which engage us with the others, can provide the insights as well and answer questions you may have if you are stuck somewhere. Uh, then there is develop an exam strategy. So we'll be working on the time management. We will work on the questions, understanding the questions. We will read the questions carefully. So, and we will go in approach where we will eliminate the incorrect options and go for the right one. So this is how you can prepare for your exams as well. And in the entire course, we'll be going through all these things one by one. So I'll be giving you a small demo. This demo contains a basic thing where you will set up an EC2 instance. You will attach an instance type. You will do a configuration on the security group. Then you will deploy this instance. You will log in into that instance, and we will host a website over there, and we will try to access it publicly. If you're ready, let's go with the demo. So this is the AWS console, which will be working in the entire course. You will work on each and every services, analytics, application integration, blockchain, business applications, compute containers, database, developer tools, end user computing, and so on. So there are multiple applications on which we will be working, but as of now, we will create an EC2 instance. You can uh, find it over here, and if you don't, you can just simply type EC2 and EC2 will come here.
I said,
Yeah.
can we take a step back and say, explain in terms of, you've got your AWS environment, and it's
these-
got different,
services.
no, not services, it's got different zones. And then for you to get to now create an EC2 instance. So you're explaining that, okay, I've got this data center or an EC2, what's called a region, maybe USA or Asia or wherever, so that we start from the top and you go down.
Yeah, so this is just a demo. The detailed discussion or the detailed information will be provided in the course. So you can enroll for that course to get a detailed information. But yes, I will. If you want to know about the regions and the zones, I can give you an overview, like information about the regions and.
Yeah, because I think now we are jumping to the technical. Remember, some of the people here don't understand, like AWS, the regions, the zones. How do you get to the EC2 instance? Is it just sitting outside? Is it inside the VPC?
Yeah, those topics will be covered in the course, but I'll explain you what are the regions and the zones. So Amazon EC2 is hosted like in multiple locations in the worldwide, and these locations are like known as AWS regions or availability zones. Uh, these locations are created because these are the data centers situated in these many regions, and they were created so that the latencies can be reduced and the data is reachable everywhere with the less cost taken. Because let's suppose if someone is sitting in the Ohio, and and your client is basically based, let's take an example of Mumbai. So you don't have to host your application in the Ohio, because it will increase your cost, it will increase the latency, it will increase the uh, out 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 outpost of the application or services. So you can simply host it in the Mumbai availability zone or the Mumbai data centers. So the people near though that center will be able to access these applications much more efficiently and easily. So for these things, these availability zones and the regions were created. So each region is a separate, geographic area, we can say, and these availability zones are like isolated with each regions. There are local zones or are also provided to you so that you can place your resource, you can compute them, you can place the storage into the multiple location and close to your end user. And if we talk about the regional endpoints, the regional endpoints is like, if let's suppose the availability zone A and the availability zone B is under a VPC. So we can create some subnet, we can do an integration between them so they can communicate between each other as well, which we'll be discussing in the upcoming course as well. So this is how you can configure the uh, resources with your availability zones, and so that you can stay near as possible to your end user, so that the data is more efficient and latency is there. All right. Let's create one of the instance. So as of now, there is no instance running on my AWS accounts. You can simply go into instances, and there is instances state is equals to running. So there are no instances running. So we'll create one instance. For that, you need to go on to the launch instances. So there is just, very easy way, and within a blink of eye, your server will be up and running. For that, you can give some information which is required, like, for example, AWS web server. We can name our instance as AWS web server, or we can name it anything. Then there is AMI also, which we'll be discussing in the module, which stands for Amazon Machine Image. This is like pre-configured operating system images, and there are more than 10,000 images available, which you can choose from the Amazon machine marketplace. For this demo, we'll be just going with the basic Amazon Linux AMI. Then in the Amazon Linux image, we can choose with the different type of AMIs. There are multiple AMIs which have different configurations. They work for a different purposes. So you see that for your learning phase, you can use this free tier eligible AMIs. We'll set up Amazon Linux 2023 AMI. Then there is instance type, which you need to configure. Instance type is basically just the configuration of your system, how many CPU you want, how many cores you want, or how many RAM you want. So everything is over there. There's T2 nano, micro, then T2 micro is T2 small, T2 medium. So they're defined as this. If you will see a difference between T2 micro, it has one CPU and 1 GB of memory. And if we talk about T2 uh, 2x large, it has 8 core CPUs and 32 gigs of memory. So we'll be selecting T2 micro. Then to connect to an EC2 instance, we need to SSH. For that, we need a SSH key. So SSH keys, like you can create a new pair or you can use your existing one. So the public key stays with the Amazon, and the private key stays with us. By this, you can authenticate with this machine, and then you can log in into that machine. I'll tell you how. Then after that, in the network settings, there is VPC, which is by default configured. We'll be creating our own VPC in the upcoming module. We'll set up the subnet as well, auto assign the public IP. But as of now, if you go to the security group rules, which is the firewall rules, so it says that the type is SSH, and protocol is TCP on port number 22. And anywhere or anyone from the world can access into this machine, which is not a good or a best security practices. It should be dedicated to your custom IP address or custom like IP range, or my IP as well. But as of for demo, we'll be moving ahead with anyway. So I'll add a security group. So as we need to host a website, we need a port 80, which is HTTP, so that the website is available and we can access it on internet. So I'll simply go to HTTP. It selected the protocol, the port range, and similarly as the source type anywhere, we can type anywhere. So anyone who from the public world can access this website using the IP address. Then there is the storage, uh, the EBS and EFS storage are provided from the AWS. This is basically your hard drive. So you can attach these hard drives as well. And we'll click on this launch instance and it will start creating your instances.
I said,
Yeah.
what is the firewall security groups? What is that?
So security groups is just like the firewall settings. So you can configure the inbound and outbound traffics in the security groups. You can configure the port. You can configure the IP address so that anyone can access, or a limited access can be done, or an internal environment can be created. So all these things are configured on the security groups.
Okay. Oh, thanks.
So as you see, our instance is running now, the AWS web server, and we can get the detailed information about the instance ID, public IP, and instance type or VPC ID, and everything. We can access it from this dashboard. We can set up some status and alarm. We can set up some monitoring. We can uh, attach some IAM role for the security. We can check the networking of this particular instance. We can check the storage of this instance, and some taggings can be done. So now as we have the public IP address and the private IP address, so to connect to this EC2 instance, we can do in two ways. One is this directly connect from the EC2 instance connect. You will simply go and connect to the instance and it will create a shell environment for you, and it will establish the connection, and then you can log in into the instance. So this is how you can log in. So currently I am in the instance. This is one method, and another method is you can use the SSH method as well. So in SSH client, you can simply just use your AWS key, which we created, which I showed you. So this key will help us to authenticate to this particular instance, and we can log into this instance. Let me just copy this instance. So my key is in my downloads folder. I'll just copy this command and I'll paste it over here. So initially, when first time we try to access into any of the machine, it requires to authenticate with the fingerprint. So we will type yes, and it will take us into the instance. So once we are into the instance, we can simply do our things. So as of now, as we are just deploying a normal website, so first we will update this instance or any of the dependencies or updates are available. As of now, as you can see, I'm not able to run the yum command because I'm not on the root user. So I'll go into super user, and now I change my user from EC2 user to the root. I'll go with updating the instance. So there was nothing to update, and we are good to go. So to run any web server, we need to install a service name as HTTPD, which is used to run the web application. So we'll install that particular service. And once the installation is done, we'll be able to see a directory as cd-var www.html. So we are into this directory. Now we will just have a index file. We will have something like this. Welcome to and we have this index.html file into this var www.html file. Now, as we install this HTTPD service, we need to start this service so that our web application is up and running. So to start it, we will type service HTTPD start, and the service is up and running. So now we'll go to our instance. We will look for the public IP. And you can see the website is up and running. So this is how, this is one basic example, but there will be much more complex things coming in the entire course. So with this, I would like to sum up today's session.
All right. No, thanks a lot, Sid. So yeah, no. I was thinking like if we can have maybe a diagram, like an end-to-end diagram, solution diagram that can show. Let's say now you've just created an EC2 instance. Yeah. Yeah, like when we're done with the course, this diagram, the architecture diagram, the services that are running inside, you should be able to configure them and know what they mean. I don't know if I'm making sense.
Yes, so all these architecture diagrams we will be creating in this course, and that is like some detailed information, like how this instance is working, what are the configurations in the backend we did while we are creating this instance. So everything will be picturized so that it is easily understandable what configuration is done and why this configuration is done and how this configuration is useful.